Day one, we've smashed out, just to recap for you, legs, preceded that with monster back workout. Again, it's been slightly heavier work, a bit less volume. There's been some good techniques involved in it today. Again, rack deads, not going to go through the whole workout again, but banging out legs after a back workout with a half-hour break in between, that is something else. What I've promised a lot of you guys, 3 or 4 days back, is I said, throw me a few questions online on Facebook, so that I can't get you physically all in the same room as me now, which would be awesome, because I'd like to have a nice crowd of 40 or 50 of you, and you put your hands up and I'll do a Q&A. I'm happy enough to be able to do that. I'm not going to be one of these people who turns around and says, if I don't know the answer to that, I'll find out for you and I'll find a man who can, because I'll be as open as honest as I can with some of these questions. Starting with, when my phone allows, previous comments, without this messing up. Right, Mark Probert. Nice to meet you, fella. Your question comes up first. Nice and simple, carbs at night. Yes or no? Personally, from me, one word answer, yes. Doesn't really matter when you take your carbs in, or your proteins or your fats. Obviously, you want to try and spread everything as evenly as you can throughout the day. But my one bit of advice for you is if you're training late at night, if you're training at 7 PM, which previously, in my former job as a teacher, I used to train, get home from work about 6, half 6, pre-workout in, get down the gym by 7, half 7, finishing up by 9, half 9. So yes, I'd normally get, and I would tell you, a thumb of rule is to try and get 30%, that's a third of your daily intake of calories. So work out what you need for yourselves in macros, a third of it in or around workout time within that 2-hour window afterwards. So when you're saying to me, I can't have 150, 200 grams of carbs that late at night, if you've just trained, and you've trained legs intensely as what we've done today, you've depleted your stores of carbohydrates and glycogen in the muscles by at least 100 grams. And every 100 grams combines with, for those of you who don't know, 3 grams of water. So the water weight and the glycogen will fill your muscles out nicely. Now if you're not replenishing those stores of carbohydrates after your training, then you're going to wake up next morning as flat as a pancake. And again, you think you're going to replenish your stores in the morning, it's not going to be happening right then. That 2-hour window afterwards, smash the carbs in. Obviously don't smash everything in sight. Work out what you need for yourself daily and put 30% in just pre-workout, 1 hour before. If you can't do that, get your branched chains or your glutamine in just before you train. Afterwards, your protein drink. I got no problem with getting 100 grams of carbs in waxy maize or glucose straight after training. Within 1 hour, putting another 100, 150 grams in for my metabolism. One word of advice, if you're not sure about your metabolisms and you're not sure about how your body reacts, you can get hold of a professional like myself, and I can work some numbers out for you, work the macros, and tell you when you can and can't eat certain foods, and when it's best to optimise your goals and gains. So one word has turned into about fucking an essay, which it shouldn't have. But you and I know now that you can eat late at night carbs, providing you've trained late at night. And again, if you haven't trained, you can still get a small carb meal in, because that 8 hours you're sleeping, your body will go into slight catabolic state. So what I normally do is get up for a piss at 3 o'clock in the morning, and while I'm having a piss in the sink, because to be honest I can't see the toilet pan, what I tend to do is have a protein drink waiting, bang, down it goes. And if it's Weetabix, say I'll throw 3 Weetabix in a bowl, 2 scoops on top, bang, in it goes, back to bed, happy as a pig in shit. That's your question answered. Hopefully that answered it nicely for you. Honeyset. Nice name, nice surname that is, Honeyset. Sounds like honeycomb. Honeycomb, nice and sweet. Bee stuff. Anyway, I'm not taking a pee, because your question is very good. Have I ever tried carb cycling, and would I recommend it? Well, carb cycling I used to do for my first batch of competitions. Works fantastically. Again, you can cycle your carbs to speed up or slow down your metabolism on certain days of the week. You work your week out Monday to Sunday, and what you would then do is work out an average calorie or carb content per day for you to, if you're growing, you need 400 grams, for example, for your body type. Over the course of the week, you can average out to 400. One day 100, another day 600, another day 300, another day 400. Obviously what you need to do is coincide those high carb days either immediately after a big body part like legs or back, or you can do it on the same day. Therefore, those high carbs that you're speeding metabolism up with are likely to be stored in the muscle and giving you an anabolic state. That's all I can say about carb cycling. It does work, but again, there is no one hard and fast thumb rule to say you should keep your carbs and protein the same every day, or you should fluctuate them up and down. Cycling does work, but again, it's consistency. Please do not ever try cycling for 1 week and think, fuck me, that doesn't work. Give yourself at least 2 months, 3 months to see how your body reacts. And again, inbox a professional, inbox me, and I'll sort you out with a carb cycling diet, or a ketogenic diet, or a diet that involves high fats, or an Atkins type diet. No, not Atkins. Herbalife maybe. Nah. Right, next question coming up. Got to fire at least 5 questions out here, 5 answers, because I know some of you guys, there's one year like supplements necessary or not. I've competed personally without supplements. When I say without supplements, first show I ever did was basically solid foods all the way. Solid meals, speeding metabolism up, the body's got to break them down, therefore if you're eating solid foods, your thermogenesis, your body temperature's got to raise, therefore your metabolism is speeding up all the time, as opposed to drinking supplements down, throwing in aminos, pre-digested stuff, which doesn't require the body actually move your metabolism up any, and therefore nearer the last 4 weeks, any pro bodybuilder will tell you this, solid foods are the best way forward, simple as that. But supplements will help you to maybe achieve a physique you want, but it's only a small percentage. So again, if you do want supplements, you know where you need to go. Supplementdeals.co.uk sponsors a PT Welsh. I've been actively, last 4 months, haven't missed a beat with supplements, and as we can see on some of the filming today, we've hit some big numbers and big weights today. At 58 years of age, I'm still cracking personal bests out, you motherfuckers, and I got a nice tan too, so the supplements must be working. Next question. Oh, I can't, that's too long, that is. That's going to take me 3 minutes to read out. I'm sorry, Matt Harwood, your question is too long. I'll have to inbox you personally on your answer there about fast metabolisms. Right, Matt Harwood, second question. You've given me 2, you're a cheeky motherfucker, cheeky mofo. 2 questions in one, I will answer one of them. For somebody who's a natural puller, but has always struggled as a pusher, how do you grow your chest? Chest volume, chest thickness has nothing to do with how much weight you're pushing. Because if you've got long levers and your biomechanics is such that, like top class powerlifters who can pull maybe 350, 400k at light body weights, you've got long arms, and therefore the actual range of movement of the weight from the floor upwards is substantially less than what it would be if you had shorter arms. Shorter arms conducive to benching huge amounts of weight because your range of movement is literally there, there and up. It doesn't contribute towards a large chest. You look at Arnie Schwarzenegger. Now, Franco, who used to train with Arnie, was capable of benching a hell of a lot more than Arnie, yet even to this day I'd go as far to say genetically there's nobody with a fuller chest than what Arnie had back in his day, and yet he could be benching between 3 and 4 plates. His arms, if you look at them, were relatively long in dimension. Didn't stop him developing a full chest. So what you've got to do is a lot more isolation work. Forget about pushing 400 pounds. You don't need a great chest to push 400 pounds. Well, I should say the other way, you don't need to press 400 pounds to have a great chest. What you need to do then is utilise movements like cable crossovers, incline flies, supersetted with static contractions, so lowering the bar, holding split second off the chest and squeezing, and adjust your hand position. So sometimes, can't get my words out, sometimes come a bit narrow with the grip, a bit more tries, a bit more anterior deltoids, sometimes a bit wider, but not too wide, like this silly motherfucker the other day, 4 plate, right on the rim, went down, 4 plates, as I was coming up, just ripped the whole chest open, because chest was predominantly the stronger part for me, not triceps. You guys who haven't got strong chest can still optimise it by isolation movement to start with, supersetting with a compound movement, but forget lifting heavy weights for compound movements, or I'd rephrase that, don't worry about lifting heavier weights than the next person and think, well, his chest is fucking shit, yet he can bench 5 plates. Because I've personally seen people who can bench 5 plates who've got pancake chests, because it's all coming from other muscle groups. So what you've got to do is just try to isolate by pre-exhausting, and as long as your relative strength is going up, whether that's your 20 rep strength or your 6 rep strength, again, don't focus on 1 or 2 rep maxes on bench, that's not going to build your chest. But as long as your relative strength goes up from 100 kg up to 110 for the same rep range, your chest will be bigger, thicker and stronger. One more question, because time is ticking, and time means money, you motherfuckers. There was a good one on here. It was a very contentious one, and I want to find it. There's all sorts on here about branched chain amino acids, ZMAs. Adam Phillips, I'm going to answer your question, right. Okay, so quick question. I've been asked, and I've asked a few IFBB pros. Guys with no answer, couldn't answer him. And occasionally, this guy, Adam Phillips, has been blocked, he says, for asking. So he does appreciate, if I don't answer it, I won't, but I am. Because you've got to be open and honest in this game, to a degree. What he wants to know is this: how important is HGH, human growth hormone, to a competitive bodybuilder? And he says by no means is he inferring that these peptides and these hormones and these things that are giving you more anabolic edge are a replacement for hard work or nutrition, but he is wanting to know, will they help slightly? Well, let me tell you something straight. From an honest point of view, obviously, if you're getting everything else right in the book, your nutrition is smack on, you're getting your macros in, you're training like a beast in the gym, you've got a genetic potential, you've got a genetic limit to reach a certain potential, whether that's strength-wise, whether that's muscle size, in any body group or body part. So you're not, if you inject something into yourself, naturally you're going to get a big huge set of legs, because your legs may be weak anyway, and therefore no matter what you do with them, that GH is going to do nothing to balance your physique out. What it will do for you is this. You should Google it and you'll find the answers to this, but I will tell you straight from first hand. Those who are looking to use human growth hormone as a fat burner, put your money back in your pocket, get your diet right first of all, do your cardio, train hard, and maybe then for 4 weeks during summertime, use a fat burner, a nice over-the-counter fat burner. There's lots on the market, just to strip that last bit off. First show I ever did, use no fat burners at all, and most probably it's the best condition I've ever been in, without any fat burners or HGH or anything else. But HGH should be used, if you're going to use it for 3 months straight, forget wasting your money, 6 months at least. And what it will do for you is this: it'll regrow your hair. So obviously PT has not been fucking on HGH. Well, I don't know though, it's getting a bit thicker. It'll do other things like your nail growth, it'll improve your general well-being. Doctors prescribe it for severe people with acute depression, massively, to the point where they're suicidal. It does elevate your mood, gives you sort of wake up in the morning with plenty of beans, natural energy. That energy will mean you'll do more work throughout the day, meaning you will burn more fat off in the long run, but it's a long-acting type thing. Good for your connective tissue. Not great if you're not prepared to invest in huge amounts of it on its own for muscle tissue growth, forget that. But people do combine HGH with other anabolic supplements, and they do work synergistically then to keep you leaner while you're growing, while your food and macros are a little bit higher than what they should be. You can even afford 1 or 2 cheat meals, but don't think you can put some HGH in yourself and eat Indians, Chineses, Dominoes, and that makes up for it. Everything else has got to be perfect. If it's not perfect, go home, rethink your strategy, keep or save your money, and do the right things first. One more question. Again, these questions, they're not preempted. I have not even looked at these. They've been in my inbox for the last few days. I'm trying to be as open and honest as I can about everything. There are a few things in here about macros and whatnot, which, to be honest, you need to inbox somebody, a professional, about that, and they can maybe sort you a diet out. Everything can't be answered in 1 word or 1 sentence. We're trying to find loads of questions. It says, here we come, 12 comments, that's not the one we want. There we are. We're in. There's all the questions, nice and light. If you see your name on there, you've made it onto the big screen, you motherfuckers. Scrolling down. Now there's a few questions about using straps or belts. You know the answer to that one, I shouldn't have to answer you that. Something about best supplements if you're getting older. If you're getting older, that's nature's way of saying you're no longer younger. And that means you need to be a bit more sensible with your joints. Don't go lifting, squatting fucking 210 like I just did. Don't go pulling 18-inch fucking deads with 332.5 for 6 reps, because you're going to snap all your shit up that way. So don't follow what I do, follow what I say. Craig Adams gives something about caffeine and cortisol. Right, nice quick one. Craig Adams, caffeine and cortisol production, how to combat the effects after a hard workout. There's a lot written about cortisol. A lot of people, in order to inhibit your cortisol levels, there are over-the-counter or under-the-counter drugs you can use. You don't want to rely on stuff like that. You want to use a natural cortisol inhibitor. For me, and if you do the research on the line, after I've told you this, vitamin C, 3,000 milligrams a day, 1 on empty stomach first thing in the morning, 1 possibly pre-workout, 1 post-workout with your drink. That'll act as a natural cortisol inhibitor. Again, you get your amino acids in, you get your regular meals throughout the day. People are concerned about taking supplements. Now, the supplements are great, but if your diet's smack on the button, then every 2 or 3 hours you're eating, you're getting a full range, a full blend of all the amines you need anyway, as well as all the carbohydrates. They're just the icing on the cake. So cortisol production, get yourself plenty of water in your system, vitamin C, that's all I can recommend. And again, if you're worried about cortisol, that means you're really worried about training too hard. And if you're worried about training too hard, the difficult thing is, I've got a freebie coming in here, you're legends. PT Welsh has been given some fucking flapjacks, and I'm going to eat this on the head now because I've trained hard today. Right, anyway, if you're worrying yourself about cortisol, that means you're not going to train as hard as you should train. There is a threshold level where you're going to feel real sort of worn out and want to sleep all the time. By all means, 3 or 4 months, hit your training smack on the button, 4 days a week, 3 or 4 days I recommend if you're really intense. Depends what your goals are, if it's strength gain or if it's muscle tissue. But again, give yourself a month off. When I say a month off, active rest. Do a little circuit in the gym instead. Pick some light weights up. Get on the cardio machine a bit more. Go abroad, have a nice little holiday, get some sun rays on yourself. Eat some foods you shouldn't be eating, and then when you do get back, then the cortisol that you're worrying about would have dropped right off anyway. But you have to accept, because you train so hard, you're going to have some cortisol. And again, you can't take a pill for everything. You can just work your nuts off, feed it, rest it, grow and get stronger. If you're not getting stronger, you're doing something wrong. You need to readjust other things. There is no magic bullet or pill for anything. That's me for today. Over and out.
Sexy motherfucking bitches.